even just glimpses of this idea that our party have a very clear vision in our mind to change this whole rubbish system which is creating many fallacies and problems and harassments. And modern world is already looking toward this. And they are already thinking of converting, and some of them have converted. Now coming to this, how to get rid of this kind of economy, to revitalize it, I will just mention some agenda points. We want agricultural zoning to be implemented vigorously. This step, I think, has never been taken in the history of Pakistan. You see, go to China, many other countries, those are bringing very nice agricultural growth. They have agricultural zoning. Number 2, existing water resources to be preserved and channelized, and new water resources to be tapped, including the desilting of Mangla, Tarbela, Chashma, all these things. Instead of just debating the issue of building the big dam of that one, Kalabagh Dam, we can build 50 to 100 small dams if we had thought on these lines, and this feasibility had already been prepared 30 years back. We would have get rid of this crisis. I have prepared the financial feasibility of desilting of Mangla Dam and this Tarbela Dam and Chashma Dam. It is already with my paper. New water channels we want to, and it is required to be introduced in Cholistan and Baluchistan. We want the Banjar lands to be allocated for forestry, which will produce paper, wood and fuel. Existing wastage and water wastage and mismanagement and pilfering by influentials to be stopped through desilting, which I have mentioned everywhere. Heavy penalties for accused of mixing in seed fertilizers and spray medicine should be mandated and legislated. We are for modern research and development in agriculture commodities, and we want it to pursue this aspect rigorously. It was done in Ayub Khan's days, but after that it was not rigorously followed as it was needed. Above mentioned measures can yield at least 30 to 50% increase in our GDP, 30 to 50% increase in our GDP, and that could amount about 10 billion to 15 billion US dollars. Above mentioned steps. Those people who are houseless, by promoting the construction and housing industry, just it would be amazing and astonishing for your good selves that it doesn't take very much money, but we have never concentrated for the well-being or betterment of a common man and a poor man. We just talk of alleviation of poverty. We just talk of alleviation of poverty and jobless people and houseless people, but we practically do nothing for them. I have worked out physically, financially, with financial feasibility. We have a plan of providing 3 marla houses and 5 marla houses to houseless people, no matter how many they are. 3 marla constructed, not plots, constructed livable houses. 3 marla houses and 5 marla houses without any loan, without any installment and without any penny. Just free, as their rights to be citizens of Pakistan, poor citizens of Pakistan. And I have worked out, I know I am talking and putting this probability before the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is not the political audience. Only 500,000 rupees would be spent on constructing or building a house of 5 marla plot. And you can reduce the amount for 3 marla accordingly. After, for example, coming into power, for example, construction of a block of house, it takes, for example, 6 months. or 8 months or 10 months or 1 year. We will announce, for example, a date after 1 year. That first week of January, so and so. We will take that much time which is needed for construction of thousands of houses altogether. In every week, after 1 year of that time, we would be in a position to distribute 400 to 500 houses per week. And it will, 4 to 500 houses will take 20 crore rupees. Just 4 to 500 houses will take only 20 crore rupees. Every month it would become 1600 houses, 1600 to 2000 houses. It will take 80 crore rupees a month, and annually it just becomes 10 Arabs, 10 billion rupees annually, and there would be a construction of 20,000 houses on 5 marla plots. You just take this consideration that we are spending more than 100 billion rupees on our civil government. What to talk of our defense? I'm talking of civil government side. More about 100, including the developmental expenses and running expenses. If you just cut 10 billion rupees from any side, or just raise your funds, 10 Arab is nothing, absolutely nothing. And spending of 10 Arab rupees provides 20,000 houses which are completely constructed and livable for the poor people. And inshallah, with 5 marla house in every year, it would be 20,000 houses, and 4 lakh people, 400,000 people will get jobs in this construction and housing industry. And 10 Arab rupees will provide 20 to 25 of 3 marla houses, 25,000 houses, and 5 marla houses with the 10 Arab will provide 20. And if we spend 20 million rupees, it means we are providing 50,000 houses of 3 marla and 5 marla both to poor people who are houseless, without getting a single penny from them as loan or installment. And along with it, we are providing the job to 7 lakh people. So this is how one has to concentrate for the well-being or betterment of the poor people, which has always been neglected. Then gold imports can also be regularized. This is an idea. Can also be regularized. And if gold imports are regularized officially, we can easily get $3 billion in our national exchequer. And deficit budget our must be balanced without any political compulsions and considerations. 15th point, forestry, fisheries, shipping sectors, these are to be pursued. It is a shame that Pakistan, with one of the lowest per acre forestry ratio in the world, is now good for the few. Being an agricultural economy, immediate steps should be taken to revolutionize the livestock industry in Pakistan. We will save at least $500 to $700 million in milk and milk products, which we are importing from other countries, and we may become self-sufficient in tea, oil, wheat, milk and milk products by saving this much amount. And to exploit oil and gas resources, fresh efforts should be made in the private sector. Khanjarab Pass, Balochistan and offshore reservoirs of oil, gas we need to explore immediately without international negative political dictates. Up till today, we are following the British rules. British law is if under 4 feet of your surface of the land, there is something, these resources, then these are the state properties. That's why there is a fight going on between the private owners and the public ownership. I think we should change this law and we should convert this law to American one. American law is that there is partnership of these resources for private owner and the state. If you provide them the partnership and ownership and make them the partner in the profits, I think you will see lot of places would be free of the fights and problems. Human resource development should also be our national priority. And for all these purposes, we want to build only polytechnic schools, industrial colleges, IT institutions and scientific institutions. Conventional educations of FAs and BAs, this should be suspended at least for 5 to 7 years. We should follow the way of Japan, at least 80%, 75%, 70%. Japan, then it was followed by Germany, now being followed by other countries. To provide the self-employment to our nation. And we should go to the computer language. We should follow the IT, information technology, and all these things. As far as the international information technology, I will just like to mention the last aspect. This is very important, which I would like to mention, that if we think that if we go to information technology, shift to it, and if we digitalize our foreign trade and we come to electronic commerce, we can generate, it will cost about 50 million US dollar, about 2.5 billion rupees, and revenue which about 2.5 billion rupees. And revenue which we can generate through this process would be rupees 50 to 60 billion per annum within 1 to 3 years. Public and government and private, both sectors can be involved. This is a time to involvement of public and private sectors. We have to run the government and economy. Possibly in each and every sphere on the idea of public and private partnership. Government is not a businessman to make a huge establishments and look after these matters. This is a time of devolution and decentralization. If we are thinking of political devolution and political and constitutional decentralization of authority, why not think of decentralization and devolution of economy and economic matters? The whole world which is prospering and which is advancing is going on this idea. I will talk of devolution of economic authority and devolution of and decentralization and privatization of this. But not this is not Bhutto philosophy. Just partnership of public and private sectors, encouraging them. Then by promoting national information infrastructure, NII, we will enable the government to digitize the economy and to increase the taxpayers. Important when public, private organizations, banks, DFIs, revenue collection, generating places, customs, ports, everything can be interlinked. All tax offices, then sales tax, excise, till we come to the next TBT system. Our total cost would be rupees 26 billion, US dollar 500 million. Responsibility would be governments. We would be earning rupees 40 to 50 billion rupees per annum. And it reduces the corruption too. Then banks, financial institutions, logistics, shipping, port handling, insurance, other services, all these improve their working. Coming to natural resources and minerals. Mineral sector has 0.4% rupees 12 billion share in GDP. It can be easily increased by this process up to 5%. It will become rupees 50 billion rupees of GDP in 5 years. cost would be 300 million US dollars. Time consuming would be 2 to 5 years, and impact would be 30 to 40 billion rupees per annum. Fisheries and food items. Our export is less than 100 million US dollars per annum in this line. With scientific handling and packing and rigorous marketing, it can generate more than 1,000 million US dollar annually. But we have never thought on these lines. Similarly, if we preserve the fresh fruits, vegetables, livestock, commodities in a scientific